makes you numb. Take it that makes you calm. Love it! Take it that makes you make it.
Hey! You lost? I'm a guide. What do you say?
So the guidebook says that the route's through here, and I know a better way. Yeah!
You liked him. I don't think we figured in his day at all.
When you come off the back of a success like Slumdog, I think people think you either do a huge movie and make loads of money, or you do a vanity project that everybody hates and nobody understands.
8 Oscars bought us the right to make one stupid decision, I think. You know, a studio will give you a little window of opportunity.
But I always thought it was really compelling, this story. I could see the problem that it's reductive. The resources you have are so limited.
You can imagine they weren't terribly delighted when Danny turns up with a film about one guy who doesn't move, who then amputates something.
Actually, what cinemas can be about is it can be about something very small amplified.
I thought, there's one mountaineering story in the world you can't tell, and it's this one. It's one guy on his own down a canyon. He doesn't do anything, he can't do anything, he's trapped. It's impossible. And, of course, if you use that word with Danny, his eyes light up and he sort of went, yes, I know, it's impossible. It's going to be great.
Blue John Canyon. Guidebook says 4.5 hours to the big drop rappel. I aim to take 45 minutes off that.
I remember thinking, there's no... And I remember saying this to Aron, actually, the first time I approached him. This is way before Slumdog, it was 2006. I remember saying to him, if you want to depict what happened to you properly, as you describe it in the book, I said, the only way you'll ever be able to really absorb that in the cinema is through an actor. If an actor can make you feel the empathy of this character, then you will be able to watch it somehow.
Danny wanted me to meet with Aron extensively before we shot, and Aron, you know, walked me and Danny and everyone through his experience every step of the way. And then, in addition, he showed us the real videos that he had made in the canyon. They were very, very powerful, and also, to me, as the actor, very valuable just on a performance level, because that was him. That was the pure behavior. That was him in the moment before he knew that there was a happy ending. So to be able to see that is very unique, and I don't think that I'll ever get anything quite like that for any other role I play, you know. Just the character at the most intense moments of his life.
We wanted it to be more than just a kind of superhero story of this mega athlete who's Mr. Invincible at the beginning, who does this extraordinary Mr. Invincible type thing where he chops his own arm off, and we just didn't want to tell that story. But to make it more than that, we needed Aron to allow us to be pretty open about some of the mistakes he made in his life, I guess, because it's very much a story about looking back on your life, knowing that you're facing death, and sort of going through the register of events, what was good, what you did well, what you did badly.
All right. Now all you gotta remember is that everything will be okay.
Oh my God!
Nice job. The most unusual thing about this movie is that it was, you know, that it involved a large amount of time with only one character, and that was very clear from the script. And conceptually, it sounded very, very interesting. I don't know if I would necessarily want to do that kind of movie with just any director, but when you see that Danny Boyle is involved, not just because Danny is, is a great director who's made great movies, it's because if you know Danny, or if you just look at his body of work, you can see that he changes every time and almost reinvents himself every time.
We had in place that we would use the cameras that we'd used on Slumdog because they were very flexible. They're called silicon imaging 2Ks. And basically they're digital cameras, high quality, which is where the 2K resolution comes in. But they are not in a housing. They're not in a box, in a body.
These cameras could be held in a single hand and extended and can go pretty much anywhere. And they're stabilized by gyros. So the operators, I could just be doing, doing the actual activity for 20 minutes, and the DPs could move in, get their close-ups, move out, get, 3/4, do it wider, and they could just get a variety of shots during the takes.
And our canyon was only that wide, and literally just a bit wider than James. And we thought, we're not going to float walls because that will make the experience fake for James and it will encourage us to cheat, which will be disloyal to the story. He should only be able to do things that Aron was able to do, and so should we with our operators, our 2 cinematographers. So we had these cameras set up, but we didn't know how that was going to work until we began working with James, and we did the story sequentially. And we had this breakthrough really on day one. It wasn't day one of the shoot, but it was the first day, because we shot the stunt separately, and that's highly technical with safety and stuntmen and all that kind of stuff. But once we started the sequential telling of his days there, of his 127 hours there, we decided to use very, very long takes because we set James off to smash this rock, get out from this rock.
And he said, just do it. Just do whatever you can. Throw yourself against the rock, kick it, knee it, yank, do whatever you can, but don't stop till I say cut.
And he went for it, and he does a fantastic performance of a man who expects to use all his physical might, all his prowess, all his testosterone, all his achievements. He should be able to break this rock and get out of there. Because it's only that big. It's not like that big.
And so I did it, and it ended up being a 22-minute take. And by the end, I was exhausted. I was out of breath. The next day, my arms were purple, bruised all the way, from mid-arm up to the shoulder. But that showed us that actually it was a way you could do some of these physical scenes where it was so much more authentic, and he would have the character getting progressively more exhausted over the course of 22 minutes, from which he could pull any, moments he liked and put them together. And they would all feel authentic because I was authentically exhausted.
And at the end of it, it's really significant because he's so exhausted at the end of it, he drinks a third of his supply of water in one go like that, and he realises then, whoa, and he says, stop, think, because all his prowess, all his ability has got him into at that moment is more trouble. He's deepened the hell he's in. He's just drunken a third of his future life from that bottle, and a journey begins.
One of the things that drew Danny to this project is, of course, the amazing story, but also the challenge of making a film about a single character trapped in a single location, but making that dynamic and entertaining.
He's one of the very few directors around who one would call visionary, I think, who can take an experience and filter it through their head so it comes out completely different from the world you see, but utterly recognisable and somehow new.
There are lots of limitations with doing a real story. There are lots of breaks on your instincts sometimes, but there's also lots of protection as well that it builds in. That you can't change it. You can't have a surgeon and his wife coming along hiking who save the hand, or you can imagine all these and you laugh, but of course there are far worse things done in Hollywood sometimes in the name of audience satisfaction.
Christy! Megan!